Welcome. I hope you enjoy the conversation you're about to hear between me and another comedian regarding comedy and religion. These are conversations I'm calling Disorganized Religion. God bless, and for those atheists out there, may nothing await you after this life.
Boom.
Sweet. I love these new digs.
No, look, I'm on camera now.
You're on camera?
Everybody can see why I'm normally not on
Yeah.
camera.
So I don't know if you saw my story on Instagram, and everyone should follow me on Instagram.
I do follow you, but I didn't see it.
So on my story, I asked people, hey, what would you like to see from season 2 of Disorganized Religion?
Yeah.
And people were so helpful. What
were the responses?
One was more Travis,
Oh,
but
really?
from a comedian also named Travis. So I don't know if it was just
For him?
self-aggrandizement
That's
that he
probably-
wants to be on. I don't know. The other was send more nudes.
Okay. I don't know how we do that on an audio-based platform.
Yeah, I told him DM me.
Yeah.
And
That's the best place to get 'em.
I'll start a Patreon.
I've also
that
noticed
what they
you
do?
have a mustache now.
I do. Not many
So-
people notice until I point it out.
Really?
Yeah, because it's very bad.
How many
It's
days is
very
stash
light.
is this?
This is like 3 months, dude.
3 months? Bro,
No, it's been a few weeks. In all honesty, it's
yeah.
been a few weeks.
I do, to be fair, if I grew I have the thinnest,
Yeah.
creepiest.
Yeah. I'm going for like dignified Spaniard. That would be,
I think you might even look good with the full handlebar.
Oh,
you know?
maybe. My wife
Fu
is like, no,
Manchu?
just the mustache.
Just the mustache.
I've started doing a bit where it's like I think women are trying to like. Okay, so I married my wife, right?
Yes,
okay,
correct.
that's how it works.
That's how,
But
that's how
it's
she
like
goes
she
live.
wants me to get to a point where she can put up with me physically,
Right.
but knows no other woman would. Right? Like I feel
Like
like that's
doesn't want you to get like too in shape. That kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. She
Like, you
started
start
saying
hitting the
like,
gym
"Oh
a
no,
little-
I like it a little bit."
Yeah.
And it's
Sometimes
like,
I wear
no,
it with
you
Katie
don't.
too.
Yeah, anytime they latch on, they're just like, "No, you can be crappy."
Yeah, I know. She's like,
Yeah.
I want you to feel good about your body. I was
Yeah,
like, "What? No one
like-
should. You should always hate your body.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
That's how you
It's
get
the
less.
thin who should be ashamed. Right?
I mean, I
That's
wish.
the age we live in.
Well, if the thin weren't busy having so much sex.
Is that what you think it is?
Yeah.
All those carbs being worked off and just
Yeah.
procreating.
That's how they keep those abs. I'm sorry to do that motion. Blur that out in your clean version.
I'll figure out something. That's great. How you been?
I've been good since. If anyone out there doesn't know, I used to host at Fourth Wall.
Yeah.
I do not anymore.
Yeah.
It's liberating.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we're here now in
Yeah.
totally different
Which
studio.
we are still sponsored by Fourth Wall TV.
Yes, still there. You
Still
can find us
sponsored
there.
because I can't pay off this equipment yet.
So it's got to be through that.
Still probably gonna have a watermark.
Joe
later.
Menenti still has his claws in you.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I moved everything and
Right.
didn't really tell Joe. 'Cause,
Oh.
like he's never there. Whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Also, it wasn't even a thing of. I
And
just
the bathroom
didn't
was
think
flooding.
to do
Like,
it.
Get that
Yeah.
out of there.
That and on 3 separate occasions he left the door unlocked.
Oh no.
And I was like, bro, there's like $2,000, $3,000 worth of equipment. back
Yeah.
there."
Yeah.
And and he hosted yesterday at NoHo. Which you
Oh, he's
never
back
does.
at NoHo?
He's back at NoHo for a couple of days.
Oh
by the
my
way, I went out
gosh.
there, and didn't notice that everything was gone. I'm like, bro.
Man,
It could
he's
have been
got so
thieves.
much going on though.
I know, man.
He's
I
crazy.
worry about
About good old Joe.
the JoJo. Yeah, he's only 8 years older than me.
Yeah.
That's not
I mean, that's crazy. And
I
he's
know.
done no drugs.
at all. And
Which
I've
is-
done a great deal.
Yeah. How dare you? Where's the fountain? That's what I want to know.
I don't know how
Where
I'm
did you
aging so
find
slowly.
it? It's good though. You look
It
great.
might be the chub,
Maybe
the wrinkle.
I don't know.
I know
You
some
just have
old
a
ass looking fat
youthful-
people.
You have a youthful energy about you.
Oh, thank you.
Which
That
helps. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
should keep it light. I tell you what, I didn't realize the mental toll that hosting at Fourth Wall took on me until I
sure.
was done.
Yeah.
Because for the last month of not working there, I
Yeah.
have nightmares about it every night.
Are you serious?
Every night.
That, like you're back?
Yeah.
Hosting
every
again?
night. Every single night.
Maybe off camera we can talk about who is on stage
Oh,
during.
you'll
I
know.
could guess.
Yeah, you could guess. You'd figure it
Yeah,
out
I think
probably
I know.
within seconds.
I have a few guesses.
And you'd be right.
Of the recurring characters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hey, welcome. I guess I should welcome us all to season 2 of Disorganized Religion. This is our first episode.
We're on a couch.
We're on a couch, and I'm here with Travis Clyburn, who's usually the disembodied voice.
I know. I usually
But
say
you're here, embodied.
Dominic Cristo.
Yeah.
Something like Catholic.
This
I
is
don't
so
know.
fun. So, as an inaugural episode, Travis was my first guest in episode 1, season 1, episode 1. So
I think we were friends, but I don't think we had figured out each other's rhythms yet.
No, as far as a podcast thing goes, no,
Yeah,
for
'cause
sure
it's
not.
a varied. I
Yeah.
mean, in general, it's hard to start a podcast and know what to
Yeah.
talk about. But
Yeah.
I do enjoy our rhythm now.
It's gotten much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know when each other. We can already. I think the biggest thing with podcasting I find is knowing when the other person's gonna shut up,
Right.
and then then you talk,
And then go in. Right.
instead of everybody going just talking over each other. Sounded terrible.
Yeah, I will say I have been complimented on our podcast about that. And I feel like that's a great compliment. So thank you to all the listeners who comment on that.
And you have a lot of great guests too. Not to
I
get you
do.
off, but and sometimes I just know to be quiet the whole time.
Sure.
Because sometimes it's like,
Sometimes you shouldn't be quiet the whole time, though.
yeah. I hope I never left
No,
you
it
out
was
to
good.
dry
It
a few
was good.
times. But there's some where they're saying so much interesting stuff that I'm like, I got nothing to add. To
Yeah, right.
It would
right,
just
right.
be a poor time joke or something.
Right.
And so just kind of got to let it go.
Yeah.
But there's other times where I'm like, I better say something.
Yeah. Well, and there are podcasts I've been on where the sound engineer, sort of the off-camera guy,
Yeah.
is too talkative. And then
Yes.
it's like, hey, man, why don't you just start your own podcast?
I do
Or-
always worry about that.
Yeah.
Which is why I try to stay out of it. But sometimes I can always. I feel like comedy in general, doing stand-up the way that we do, you can usually tell when you need to talk if you do it long enough.
Right.
Know when to pause in jokes, know when to say things.
Yeah.
You figure out what's appropriate. And I feel like I've done it long enough to know. And also, I'm just a big fan of the science of social interaction.
Yeah. Right.
And not that I analyze it to any degree, but just observing. Like, excuse me.
Right. We got the burpees.
I
What's
know.
going on?
It's Diet Pepper you brought me.
The devil's drink.
It's delicious. It's so carbonated.
I know. Bubbly.
Carbonated bubbly. Okay. Do you know the greatest comedy lesson I learned? I was in 5th grade,
Okay.
and I was making a bunch of kids laugh. There's this kid named Jimmy Howard who was kind of a bully,
Yeah.
just a big guy who would always kind of he'd say whatever he thought because he could always get away with it.
Sure.
One of those
you're
guys.
Right.
But I was making him laugh, making this group of people laugh, and then I went too far.
Oh.
And the joke died, and he just went, "Hey, you fucking killed it! You killed the joke!" And then he walked away,
Jimmy.
and that has been stuck in my brain
Yeah.
for 5th grade was 20 years.
Wow.
Something like that.
Right.
Like forever.
Well, it's funny how those things are so formative.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a cat just jumped by.
No, you're good. I didn't really. You got like 3 dogs and a cat. How many?
One dog,
One dog, one cat.
Yeah.
You guys are running a regular zoo over here. What are you, Mrs. and Dr. Doolittle?
You have to have an animal around so the loneliness doesn't sink in.
That can help.
I've met a lot of people. Do you have pets?
We did.
We have
We
children
used to.
now.
Yeah, I've
So you
got
have
3
human
kids.
pets.
We have human pets. I actually just came from a show, did
Yeah.
a bit about if you're a person who
Yeah.
has a pet
Yeah.
and refer to them as your child, you should kill yourself.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah.
And I feel like the when it's just me and Katie, we'll refer to each other, to the animals, as mom and dad.
Yeah. Sure.
But
Of course
there's
you
no
will.
world where it'd be like, if you would be like, yeah, Timmy's 10
Right.
now. Like, I know. I got a 10-year-old too.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'm
you're like,
not a
oh,
fucking
really?
crazy
Can you show me a
person."
picture of your sweet boy?
Yeah.
Or your sweet girl? And
Look,
you're like, oh, no, it's a dog.
And we are one of those people, if you did notice, my dog is wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, that's fine.
He gets
I
cold.
understand that. Sure. I mean, we've bred.
He's from Florida.
They come from wolves, but we bred them to be pansies.
Weak.
Is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it's
yeah, look at
prettier
the-
when they're
I used to do this bit. I should bring it
Vulnerable.
back. About
Yeah.
pugs.
ah
I know I think they're an abomination of God,
sure.
but the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, all those they can't breathe.
And
Yeah.
evolutionarily, I look at them like you were a wolf.
Yeah,
And look what he did to you.
it's a true testament to humanity's power over
It's
nature.
pretty impressive, right?
Yeah,
To turn
and
a
it's not
wolf
that
into a
long
pug.
for not that long.
I mean, really, even any evidence of dog breeding only goes back maybe 3,000 years,
Right,
maximum.
right.
That's from 'cause
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to the Earth being 5,000 years old?
I don't know how old the Earth is.
I like that.
That's not a
answer
part
better,
of. That's not a
'cause
part of
I
my
don't
religion.
know.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're literal biblical. They'll be like, oh no, it's 5,000 years old
Right.
because that's what the math in the Bible works out to be, or whatever. No, I'm not one of those. Not one of those. I
And
don't know how long it is.
I had a theory for a minute. I've done no research on it, but I always thought that the people in the Bible's ages, because they said this guy lived to be 800.
Yeah,
Well,
right. I mean, Adam was 900 years old.
Yeah,
Somewhere,
and
yeah.
those ages actually check out if you're talking about the lunar cycle ages.
Oh, sure.
Like,
Lunar years.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
as in,
like
like
China years.
months. Yeah, like months to months. Like,
Yeah.
I was like 900. Okay, this
No
dude
wonder
was,
they're so advanced in China.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why don't we live
Sure.
to? How come? Like, because if he
Right.
was 900 years old, he'd be
Yeah.
a shriveled grape of a person. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there was more magic and stuff.
I mean, there might have been. There were giants back then.
And unicorns.
Yeah. And
Which-
bears that tore up children.
Because they called a man bald.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
my
that story. There's so many random things in the Bible, talking donkeys and stuff.
Is there a talking donkey?
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
know- I
one of
haven't
the
heard that one.
prophets or someone gets I wish I remembered the story exactly, but someone is on a road somewhere and the donkey won't go forward and the
ass.
guy's
Does
like,
it
"Hey,
work?
come on." Yeah, and the donkey then turns around and is like, "Hey buddy, we can't go here." And he's like, "What the?" But, I'm sure there's some more meaningful symbolism to it, but I don't know what it is.
That's a really good point. There are so many of those one-offs in
Yeah.
almost any religion where it's just like, I don't know why.
Yeah, there must be some cultural significance.
Like at the time, maybe that was profound. Hello, kitty.
Sure. Oh,
The cat's joined the podcast. You can see his butthole if you're watching at home.
so great. It's so attractive. I love it. I love it so much. All right. Well, I want to talk to you about good and bad experiences over. Let's just focus on the good.
Yeah, I think
experiences.
like we should start off season 2 positively.
Yeah. Of season 1, any favorite moments that you had? Anything that shaped your thinking about
I enjoyed
religion
it,
and
and I
spirituality?
apologize if I can't remember his name. The guy that you brought, the guy that was an atheist, bald fella.
Brian Matthews.
I loved that
He's great.
episode.
Yeah, he's great.
That guy was amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, I now do a podcast with Dylan Sullivan. That
Of course
was a
you
great
do.
Time.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean,
Because
like-
I introduced you to each other.
Which, of course, naturally, two fats have bonded and,
Right,
and become
obviously.
one mega fat.
Right.
But yeah, Matthews guy.
Yeah.
That guy was.
He's great.
And it was like, okay, I don't really have any firmness in my atheism or whatever, or
Okay.
agnosticism or whatever
Yeah.
it is I believe.
Have you picked one of those two? Or are you an
No,
atheist
you know,
agnostic or an agnostic
It's almost
atheist?
like, okay, it's almost like picking pansexual or bisexual. You know what I mean? It's almost like, why would I put any label?
Yeah.
I'm over the whole label thing. I feel
Yeah.
like this is a generation where, especially millennials,
Sure.
all we want to do is label ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, should have just
Yeah.
called myself a millennial.
Or others.
yeah.
Yeah. We
Like-
have to fit people into a...
I know. And
Sure.
that's why, like, I don't, like, even with Dylan and the gay community, stuff like the LGBT, they just keep adding letters to include everybody.
Right.
And I'm like, I thought that wasn't the point.
Yeah.
But that's not my point. I just can't put any label on it because and also, if I were presented with something that I thought was evidence
Yeah.
of a higher power,
Sure.
I feel like someone who calls himself firmly an atheist
Yeah.
would be like, nah. But I'd at least go, well, let's see what the fuck
Okay.
this is about.
Sure. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
So I just have no idea.
Yeah.
But I do think it's bleak and meaningless. But it's fine.
So, any moments that shaped your thinking or changed it over the last season? Or maybe gave you pause about
There was a
your
few-
belief in the bleak future that
You know,
awaits?
I hate to say no.
Yeah. And it's okay if there's not.
Yeah,
I mean,
because also perspective to perspective. I
Yeah.
think, was it Kazim that was talking about ghosts? I believe. Or
maybe.
no? Actually, I loved hearing
Who did
from
talk
Kazim
about?
because it's
Yeah.
like I've known Kazim Rahman for a while. I didn't even know he was Muslim.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh,
And I
sure.
didn't especially know he was pretty devout. Like he
Yeah.
really,
I didn't know. Right.
Because I think meeting somebody like that coming from a pretty redneck hick place that I came from, I think is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like just, I never knew he was so or adhered to his faith that much,
Yeah.
and it's never affected.
Like he's not
Knowing him first,
Yeah.
and then finding out that information, and then now changes nothing about our relationship.
Oh, I
And
see
I
what
think
you're
that's
saying.
profoundly important for people in the middle of the country to learn.
Yeah.
Like you'd think,
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, I mean, it matters, but only as far as we let it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
That's a way better way to put that. I
Right.
like that.
So I think for some people, yeah, if they're going to be bigoted, racist, they'd be like, oh, well, now I know you believe in Allah. You're a psycho.
Because I had a lot of people, because I would call myself an atheist when I was about 15 or so.
Uh-huh.
And I had a lot of people who would meet me, know me, and then find out after knowing me for a little while, that I really didn't believe in anything. Like they'd ask why I didn't go to church or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just hate me.
Yeah.
What
The heck?
Katie, could you get the dog? You're gonna have to edit this out.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave
Leave
it
it in.
It's great.
There's now more obstacles. There's a dog barking
cool.
at our neighbors.
Not the homeless though. We just got the dog.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So you were talking about so people found out you were atheist, and what would they say to you then? Or that,
they
that you
just
didn't believe
literally
in
think-
anything?
Yeah, I literally think that actually, most people in the middle of the country think atheists worship the devil.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. I feel like I grew up thinking atheists were just mean people who hated
interesting. Who do you
hated
think-
Christianity
Who
or
put that
God.
into your head? Do you think was it just
It was Sarah McKellen. No, I don't know if there was one person. I think it was more just a overall.
Well, see, I think I meant like were your parents like?
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
No, my parents were pretty open-minded, even-keeled people.
That's good.
I mean, they're still alive, so they still are that way.
They're dead.
Tragic accident.
I'm
Killed.
sorry.
They were killed by atheists, actually.
Well, now I get it.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was anyone in particular. I think it was just my perception
Yeah.
of either kids I talked to at school who were atheists or
Interesting.
articles or news stories or, like Fox News is constantly like, oh, there's a war on Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone hates Christians.
Yeah.
And so
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's not like Fox News was playing in my house 24/7, but it just
but
felt like
did you find that more Christian people do lean further right? And
I think religion. So here's, I think, probably one of the more interesting arguments with religion and politics.
Yeah.
There are, I think, two questions for political movements, right? Which is, there's the economics question, which I think skews more religious and conservative, or maybe it has nothing to do with religion. And then there's the social issues. And the social issues, for sure, religion skews conservative on a lot of the social issues, right? I mean, abortion for sure,
And I
right?
think, most people, from my experience, are pretty single issue voters too.
Yeah.
So naturally, if you were,
Yeah.
if you only cared about gay people getting married or something like
Right,
that, you
right.
just vote Republican no matter the issue.
Right.
That makes sense.
And I guess depending on how the economy was going,
Yeah.
if
That's a really
the
good
economy's fine, then you vote moral issues.
point. Here's a question. Did any of the guests, I'll ask you the same question you asked me.
Yeah, please.
Did any of the guests make you think about anything differently?
I don't know necessarily differently, but
Would you have like an aha
certainly
moment?
highlighted. I don't know about aha, but certainly highlighted. Okay, so like Mike Eaton and Brian Matthews, I felt like we had similar discussions, but
Yeah.
maybe
another
around
great
the
episode
same
that I
issue.
almost forgot about Mike
Yeah,
Eaton.
yeah,
Shout out
he's
Mike
great.
Eaton.
I mean, admittedly, for me, some of the more enjoyable episodes were with people that were more vocally atheist or agnostic,
Right, because
as opposed to religious. I mean, I liked like Kazim. I liked having Kazim on, and trying to think about anybody else that was actually religious. Most people just don't care, and that's fine.
Which I found interesting.
That I also found that interesting.
Because, I mean, I can't imagine not thinking about it
Yeah.
ever, you know?
Or holding an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When confronted, like maybe you don't really think about it, because there were issues that Brian Matthews and Mike Eaton brought up for me that's like I've thought about, but maybe not to the same extent of giving the other side the due that they deserve, if that
Right.
makes sense.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Um,
But I think,
yeah.
and maybe I just always felt like if you've never thought about it at all,
yeah.
you might be a little dumb. But that makes
Maybe.
you feel like a dick because
Sure.
some of the people we've had on who
Are
are
not
just like, I never
dumb.
think about it. They're not stupid
No.
people.
No.
But I'm like, how do you go day to day
Yeah.
and never go, I wonder how we exist?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
thought that
I mean,
ever?
above the age of 5, because I know my kids
Yeah.
are just like,
Well, yeah.
whatever.
Which, what a blissful existence
I
it was to be a
know.
kid. Remember when you just like everything's that they say is true and I don't care.
Yeah.
Just
sure.
in general, or
Sure.
or
I mean, I'm still in that phase. It's great.
I will do what they say.
But I don't know that I necessarily like. I'm like, oh no. I mean, I guess I will say this. So some of the areas where I feel most self-conscious about how I feel or think about questions
Yeah.
revolve around homosexuality, because it's such a
Right.
hot
Because I
button
think that was
issue.
an interesting. I think me and Dylan have talked about that, not on a podcast, but just in
Yeah.
general about that. Because I thought it was so interesting when you said that, like, basically it's okay to be gay,
Right.
just not do gay shit.
Just not gay sex.
That's just
Still go to your musicals. You can still.
But I find that so
Go to brunch.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess for me, it comes down to this question of gender and sexuality that
Yeah.
that I hold opinions on that are not really like the popular social opinions, right? That
Right.
that gender is binary, or that
Yeah.
that it's more binary than I think a lot of society, at least in LA, want
Yeah.
to say. Right?
Yes.
Like, I don't think there are a million genders. I don't think there are 12 genders. I think there are maybe
Well, that's another
two
what
and
I
a
was
question
literally
mark,
talking about
you know?
earlier about labels and stuff like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
It's especially gender fluid always bugged me only because it's like if I think a cat is cute, am I a girl now?
Well, yeah.
And like, and that's also
Clearly,
that's
you
like
are.
saying a man can't like cats or
Right.
can't be sensitive.
Yeah.
That's like saying like 'cause I have plenty of effeminate qualities. I also have plenty of masculine qualities.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm some other thing.
Right.
Like,
Right. You're
like
your
the-
own brand of man, but
Yeah.
you're still a man.
Yeah.
You're a dude.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
still a big dude.
Yeah. And I guess that's the way I feel about it too, is that we've skewed interests
Yeah.
or sort of gender roles, which are total societal constructs,
Yeah.
around genitalia. And like that doesn't make sense to me, you know?
No.
Because as a stay-at-home dad, you know, and growing up in a very
Yeah.
conservative, I mean,
Oh,
my
so that must
mom
hit you
always
pretty
worked.
hard, pretty, hit home with you, especially.
Yeah.
Like someone saying like, "Oh no, you're a lady. You stay at home while your husband works." Like
Yeah,
that
and then
kind
I'd
of thing.
cry, get a mani-pedi, and I'd feel better.
Did you always have the dinner ready at 5? then?
Ready at 5, hot and ready.
5:30, and
Get a backhand. But you know, that's what I deserve as a woman. Oh, man. Yeah, so I think it's things like that that I find most interesting. And I like talking. I realized I like talking to people who have an opinion
yeah,
and disagree with me, but are okay with having a discussion as opposed to just an argument.
that's fair.
You know?
Well, because like I mean, as far as stuff like the gender spectrum and stuff like that, I think we agree pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I
like
think
with
so.
the I can't agree with you on the gay stuff.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Only
so what do you mean?
Only because my
Yeah.
whole thing is I think if there's a cosmic creator who's
Yep.
created trillions of galaxies and stars in an
Sure.
infinite universe,
Sure.
he doesn't care where your penis goes that much.
You don't think so? No. I just think he created all of that for us. Like, we're central. And
don't think-
gender's intricately important to that.
I wish I thought we were as important humans.
Yeah.
is what I mean,
Yeah.
as you do.
Yeah.
Like I really
Just make the choice, Travis. Just just wake up tomorrow and be like, okay, we're cool. We're important.
just convert. God damn it!
I'm gonna do this until you're baptized. No,
Do you know
I
what's a
don't care.
fun scientific fact that I learned really just the other day?
Yeah, what's that?
0.0 to the, I believe, 100th billionth percentile. So
Okay, so some
then
infinitesimally
one.
small number.
is how long the universe will be alive and can sustain life.
After humanity? What are you talking about?
So in other words,
Yeah.
like
So after
no, not after humanity.
Oh.
Like it'll exist, but only for that amount of time.
Oh,
will it
we
be
exist?
Will no any life at all.
Got it.
Like in general.
Sure.
The rest of the time it will be black holes and stars ripping into each other.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where after I think it's something like a billion years have passed, where years, because it'll only be light beams just zipping through nothingness.
Yeah. Okay,
forever.
but so
It's
all right.
crazy.
It is crazy, but there's this theory around black holes, right, where everything gets sucked in, even time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Or
time is distorted the closer you get to one.
Yeah.
Because it literally bends space-time, bends gravity.
Okay. But that means it could be infinitely long, right, inside of the black hole.
I guess.
And maybe that is where heaven is. Maybe
black
that
hole?
is where we all go for forever. Is where time and space is distorted, and then we come out on the other end.
Do you think?
Would
you think heaven
making other stuff
had a concept or construct of time?
I think time is more a human necessity.
I would agree with
than
that.
a God
I've always agreed with that
thing. Like an eternal principle, I don't think time really makes sense
Yeah,
to
to
think
say
of
you
it
have an immortal
linearly.
soul or eternal soul.
Yeah, it's just like, well,
Just like, what the fuck does that mean?
how does that? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't think it fits.
And I will, the thing that I will always concede to religious people is that, there will always be things that we will never understand forever.
Right. Sure.
And also things that are so grand and so insanely huge. Just to think about, even what I just said about how long the universe is going to be around.
Yeah, right.
After we...
How do you... Yeah.
Yeah, after the sun swallows the earth whole.
Yep.
And everything on earth that ever existed is gone.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the largest known star we've ever found.
Right.
It's so much bigger. It's almost like 1 trillion suns could fit inside it.
Yeah, and
That's so big. That's so fucking big.
that's what she said.
Yeah. It's called an ultra blue
Yeah.
star or something.
Yeah.
I can't believe things are that big out there.
Right.
And even something as simple as that,
Yeah.
my mind is exploding.
Yeah.
And so to go any further into, anytime I've tried to look into string theory or multiverse or
Right.
anything like that, I'm like, there's no world where my brain could ever understand
comprehend this.
So if there is some sort of all controlling, creative force out there,
Yeah.
but again, I guess that would go against religion, because I don't think a book could sum it up. You know?
Right. Right. Well, I think it fits into religion in the sense that we're basically told there's not going to be ever definitive proof or disproof of divinity.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's sort of why we view life as a test.
Yeah.
And we're choosing whether to believe or not believe.
Well, and I will give your church more credit than most,
Yeah.
because I've never met a cunty Mormon.
I mean, again,
I don't
know how many you've met.
You guys are killing it. At least pretending to be nice. You guys
Yeah.
are.
I'll
fucking
take it. Us and the Southern people.
Southern people.
Yeah.
No, really, you guys are really, really kind.
Yeah. Well, we try. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some groups would disagree. We've had our issues with the African American community.
Well, yeah, in the 70s,
blacks.
you guys were
Pretty tough times.
But again, I mean, let's be honest.
We've had our issues with the queers. Is that what we're supposed to call them all now? I don't. Is that not the
strange?
the LGBTQ community?
It's in the thing.
Right. I mean, it's in the thing, but I feel like the queer community tried to be like, no, we are the overarching label for all of them.
Queer so much, I don't know.
And lesbians were like, how dare you?
Did I ever tell you what my grandfather told me when I was going to move out to L.A.?
No.
He literally looked at me. This man was 90 when he told me this.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, now
I
you
love
move
it
out
already.
there, don't you get queer? I was like, thank you, Grandpa.
I mean, pretty wise words.
Even taking that in a literal context, which is don't get out there and be weird.
Right. That's what
All
he
right,
meant.
word.
That's clearly what he
Nope,
meant.
did not. I remember having a debate with my grandpa. We had a cousin. Okay. There's this cousin from West Virginia. He's like, Travis, help. Because him and my grandmother were arguing. Like, Travis, help me understand something, all right?
Okay.
We got a cousin. He moved to San Francisco. All right. Tell me he ain't queer. Right?
Okay.
And then like I got kind of upset too. I was just like,
Sure.
like maybe he just wanted to go to California. I was like, San Francisco's
Yeah.
amazing. I was like,
Yeah.
he's like, no, the only reason some guy out here is gonna move to San Francisco is because they're queer. And I defended this fucking guy. I'd never met him. Didn't know who he was. He was just a cousin from West Virginia.
Yeah.
And then I was so upset with him. And then years later,
You were upset with your grandpa.
yeah, for being like,
Right.
for just assuming,
Right.
you know, because it's like I wanted to move to California. I
Yeah,
eventually
yeah.
did. Like, is he gonna think
Sure.
I'm gonna, you know?
Yeah.
And so finally we go to a family reunion in West
Yep.
Virginia, and I meet the guy, and he's about as gay as the day is long. Like, I mean, on fire. Like, I was aware, I was afraid of for his safety.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
then I was like, God damn it, Grandpa. I hate that you're right.
I mean,
And he was right.
yeah, stereotypes exist for a reason, you know?
I know, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
What are some members of the Church of Latter-day Saints
Yeah.
stereotypes that you think you fall into?
Oh, that I fall into?
Or
Pretty
actually-
innocent. I think I have a pretty innocent mind when it comes to drugs. I have like
Right.
no
He's got no experience at all. Right?
experience at all.
Like, wouldn't
with
even
drugs.
know what
Fractions.
they did.
I mean, it's just so.
Mm.
No, I just don't. I don't know what drugs feel like. I don't know what people act like when they're on drugs.
Have you ever even like hurt yourself in taking pain pills or anything like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How was
I mean,
that?
on purpose. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You had to.
I have to feel the pain
You have to
before
feel-
I can take the. No, no, I've never done them. But yeah, I mean, I've taken pain relievers for sure. I take
that?
cold medicine when I need it.
Like Vicodin? Here, have some.
No Vicodin. I
No
took
Vicodin?
Lortab when I had my wisdom teeth out.
How's that?
I actually didn't really like it. I don't know.
That's fair.
I mean,
You
like
gotta
I was
go
in pain
Vicodin,
and I didn't
maybe a
have
top-notch
pain.
Percocet.
Yeah, right. You didn't get the good stuff.
To be fair, though, I've like, whenever you're sad, like, does your religion really lift you out of it?
Let me think about that. I
that
think
is a big old question to ask.
yeah, I think perspective is for me the key. So so let me say this, like, I have been trying to find a therapist out here because my wife keeps saying you have depression,
Right.
and so I'm like, well, I'll prove you wrong. I'll
I
find
mean,
a
you're a
therapist,
comedian,
and
of course you
therapist
have
will be like,
depression.
you're fine.
I've been trying to figure
So-
out the correlation between comedy and depression for a long time, and it just
Yeah.
seems like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah,
And I still really don't know why.
yeah.
But of course you have depression.
Well, yeah, right. Of course I do. Undiagnosed, but diagnosed by my wife. So
Fair.
there's a difference, though, I think, when you feel depression
Mm.
and then try to get happy using religion,
Right.
because it doesn't always, you know, when
Really,
you're
if
if you're
it's chemical.
clinically depressed,
Yeah.
it might be chemically induced, and so then it's like, well, you can't just discredit your religion because it's not lifting you out of a chemical issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
But there are definitely times when I feel down, you
Yeah.
know, about myself or about things that I've done, and then turn to religion for faith and positivity
Right.
and
Okay.
perspective, and so
So-
that helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see it. I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a cure-all for everything.
Right.
I think with my particular, like, I'm not on any medications for it, however, I just really try to take care of my mind and do things to make it happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't work all the time.
Sure.
But like with my depression, like I think and my lack of religion is probably what led me to do a lot of drugs, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's well, you know what? I don't even know if it's that simple.
It is.
I,
No, it never is. It never is.
I know nothing's really that
Yeah.
simple. A lot of it's like my dad was once described to me as a guy who knew him as a guy who shoots from the hip, and I know I'm that guy too. I
Gotcha.
inherited that from my dad.
Yeah.
Quick, fast. I have no fucking patience.
Sure.
It bugs me. I don't like that I'm like that.
Yeah.
And I've tried as a person to grow the virtue of patience over time. It's barely working.
Yeah.
I wish it'd work fucking faster than that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that.
I love it. I
Such a
love it
dumb
so
joke.
much.
But if you're feeling terrible,
Yep.
and then you do this thing and you feel great,
Yeah.
instantly your mind's gonna be like this right
Yeah,
here.
that thing. Yeah.
and
do that.
and it's like that.
Yeah.
And if you do any kind of drug, really, a lot of the times
It
it's like
does that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Problem being,
Yeah.
any kind of perma sadness, like, because then your sadness comes from the thing
Yeah, of course.
that made you happy,
Right.
when you were
you
sad.
lack the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or it, some really bad side effects out there. Seth.
Yeah, right.
My God.
I read about some of them in health class. most of health class. Most of health class for me
Dare
was
program
like,
to
which
help.
one could I do? Probably LSD. That seems, low
I think that
addiction.
Would, there's no addiction. Like,
Yeah.
I did mushrooms probably 6-7 months ago, even with Katie. But she didn't do them. She was just helping me out.
Just supervising.
Yeah, making sure
In
to
case you got a
wander
bad
to traffic. I'm chasing a cockatrice.
No, Travis, you're not.
There's no chicken dragons.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I do not even kind of want to do them again.
Is that right?
Well, first of all, it freaked me out. It was a lot. Just sometimes hallucinogens will take you to a place you don't want to go, and you're like, and
Yeah.
it's bad.
Right.
But I don't think they're addictive at all. Actually, the guy who created AA praised LSD
Yeah.
but then of course it's almost like a religion at that point, because then people suppressed what he said and
Sure.
they were like, no
You
drugs,
mean the
ever.
AA program?
AA.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did I say?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Okay, yeah, the guy who created
right.
Bill or whatever. They say friend of Bill. That's the code
Yeah.
for you're in AA.
Sure.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I tried to go to that, and my problem was watching people get addicted to religion over their substance, and I'm like, well, you're not treating the greater issue.
Interesting.
Or they were getting, not even a religion, they were getting addicted to these meetings.
Right.
And there were people that were
Yeah.
like, if I don't come here every day, I'm going to go do crack tomorrow.
Sure.
And that's crazy to me.
But don't you think that's a better addiction to have than
Probably.
crack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. But also.
Not if it's wasting my time
I
and
guess so.
taking my
Yeah.
shares.
I think I have this weird obsession with cake.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
No.
I didn't know it either. I get there and they're like, who's bringing the cake tomorrow?
Oh my gosh.
Every time there's a fucking cake.
Well, I would want to go to those meetings if there was cake.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
You.
I mean, sugar's addictive. It's more addictive than crack cocaine.
That's true. Which is interesting about AA, the things they let you have. You
Sure.
smoke. Coffee, always served, always free.
Sure.
Sugar.
Yeah. Well, those are viewed as less harmful drugs,
And I know you've told me this before, but
maybe.
are you allowed to have caffeine? You're allowed to have caffeine,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So this is sort of where there's some cultural Mormonism that's like,
Because there are places, I've
No.
met a few who were like,
No.
absolutely no caffeine.
yeah, there are lots
Yeah.
actually that are like, no
Interesting.
caffeine. Caffeine's included. It's a terrible drug. But
I mean,
I
guess.
think most now are like, no, it's
It's fine.
It's okay. We can get over the caffeine thing. I mean, I think the higher purpose. So where all this comes from is the Word of Wisdom, which is the section in the Doctrine and Covenants, which is another book of Scripture that we believe in.
Okay.
So that's the background on the Word of Wisdom.
Gotcha. I was wondering where all that.
It really came
from.
from. Yeah. So it came from when the church was first organized. Joseph Smith would hold a school of the prophets, where a bunch of dudes that held leadership roles in the church would come and they would all teach each other stuff, math, languages, just everything. They would just study.
Just sharing knowledge.
Yeah. And
Which is, that's reminiscent of early, like, Roman priests and
Right.
stuff like that.
right.
Basically just the smartest people in the whole town.
Yeah. So they would
Get
hold
together.
this Mormon think tank, and then
Mormon think
they
I
would
don't know why I like that.
they would smoke, chew tobacco,
Interesting.
and spit out tobacco and ash all over the floor where Joseph Smith lived with Emma, his wife.
Yeah.
And Emma would then be left cleaning up. So after, right? But after some time, Emma got a mouth and was like, hey, Joseph, this has got to stop.
Yeah.
So Joseph then prays, and God comes back and says, yeah, Emma's right. This has to stop. So here's the new health code for you as Latter-day Saints. So that's where the Word of Wisdom comes from.
That's interesting.
So the higher purpose, really, of the Word of Wisdom is to be open to the Spirit.
Yeah.
So if there's any substance or practice that is keeping you from feeling the Spirit or acting on spiritual, promptings or feelings that you have, that should be cut out of your life. That's sort of the higher purpose, right?
That's interesting.
So I think a lot of people are like, well, if caffeine holds an addictive property, you shouldn't let it control you, and therefore you should cut it out. So
Would
we
you
shouldn't.
look at that as,
But
because part of that to me, and I realize it's very different, but I know in communist countries, like super
I like where this is going.
and there's no way this is going straight to conspiracy town, by the way. So
beautiful.
I apologize. It's going to sound very Chris Heisty.
I can't wait. Is it going to be messed up?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
most
no,
of the
go
thing
on.
most dictators, it's probably going to be most of the thing most dictators want to do is take away anything that makes you think outside of what the way they want you to think. So
Sure.
and I mean, then again, it's hard. Okay, it's hard to make the parallel because like burning books is a little bit different than saying you can't smoke a cigarette.
Right.
Because also like the biggest thing in a lot of the pork thing.
Yep.
My buddy's a
Talking
chef.
about in Islam or
In general, you can't eat pork. Like any religion that says you can't eat pork.
Oh, okay.
All of
So
that comes from a
Judaism,
very long time ago before they knew what the fuck pigs were.
Yeah, right.
Stumbled upon them. And if you try to butcher a pig the same way you do a cow or anything else or a sheep, you're going to cut the bile sac, the meat is infected, and you will die if you eat it because it has E. coli poisoning.
Sure.
So they just go, hey,
Don't do it.
no more goddamn pigs, okay?
Yeah.
Stop with the pigs.
Yeah.
God said so.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Right. Sure.
Just like the Catholics and fish on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
The fish market was failing because there was a new trade and more cows were coming in. And all these people have lived on an island their entire life.
Right.
And they're like, we eat really sick of fish. And the fish markets were floundering, no pun intended.
Yeah.
And so the Pope, I believe, I don't know, like 500 years ago or whatever, was like, hey, Friday, no goddamn meat. And then it recovered the fish market.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is fish not meat? Or did they just not count it as
beef.
meat in the time? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah. We're talking about like Portuguese meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about, like Egyptian
Which is
cows
beef.
and shit.
Yeah.
Beef.
Yeah.
Beef. Yeah.
I went to a
Not fishy fish.
Portuguese cookout, like a barbecue, and they were
What was
like,
that?
It was so good.
Sounds good.
So good. But they introduced all of the meat that they were serving as chicken, meat, and that's it. It's like,
I don't
wait,
like that. I don't like when anything
this
is
is
just
all meat. I mean,
everything's meat. We're all meat.
But they divided it.
Dog and cat is
Yeah,
meat.
pork. We have pork here. We have meat here, and we have chicken. And by meat, they just meant cow, beef. Right?
Okay. Well, I guess that's kind of what I just meant then.
And that, So that's what the Catholics meant, apparently.
Right.
I didn't know that was the. Anyhow, so what was your point with?
Because
The dictators are like, no.
Well, I mean, I guess the parallels are saying something. What you said is what made me think of that. The keeping you away from the spirit.
Sure,
basically,
this
right?
higher purpose.
Yeah.
Spirit of the law.
Which is why a lot of countries, especially America, feared marijuana because it alters perception.
Oh, okay.
Right? And anything that alters, like when they were giving it to soldiers and stuff back in the Reefer Madness days, they were just like, wait, what? Like, and they just wouldn't do what they told them to do. They found they were harder to follow orders and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think with something like that, they're like, hey, these guys, it's hard to control them.
Sure.
If they have these things in them.
Sure. I mean, perhaps so.
But saying keeping the spirit or, dampening the spirit.
It's
is
just
a good
like
way
another
to say.
justification for do what I tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe so. I don't know. There might be something to that. I guess my retort to that, not that we're arguing, but my thought on it is that there's...
Again, I don't have many firm. I think that's what keeps me from arguing.
Yeah.
I don't have any crazy firm ideas. And plus, I like hearing other people's thoughts.
Right.
Especially because there's some things you believe or say that I'm like, I never would have thought about that. That's cool that I know that now.
Yeah. Well, and see, I'll get into a trap with my wife where she will have an opinion about something. And just because I am who I am, I'll be like, well, what about this? And I don't really care.
Yeah, but she does.
But I'm committed. I have to commit because she's so committed.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? So she's like, well, what are you talking about? I'll be like, oh, man, I got to
down.
double down now because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong again.
Yeah, I know.
But anyhow, my thought on it is that there's good. There's a source of good in all truth, which I think is God. And that I think Satan, the devil, Lucifer, however you want to call it, evil, tries to mimic good and twist it slightly for terrible purposes. Right? So, I feel like there is this, you know...
Well, shit.
This model of...
That's what makes... Honestly, if we're talking from a writing perspective,
Yeah.
the best villains think they're right.
Yeah. And they have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, what are you doing?
No, I hate evil.
Right.
That's why Thanos in the Marvel movies and stuff like that was such a badass. He thought, I'm going to kill half the population because...
They need to
save
die.
the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like there's gonna be no more poverty.
Right. Right. Well,
and
that's yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Every planet he did it on thrived afterward. He had
Sure.
justification and logic, but also he's killing a lot of fucking people.
Well, utilitarian. It's for the good of the many.
That's fair.
So that's sort of what I think about that. Anyhow, fun. All right. Any other moments from last season? I feel like we got to wrap up pretty soon.
I think we're
With
at
time.
We've got
Got a few more minutes.
15 minutes.
Good. Yeah. Any other standout moments for you? From and I'm going to think.
Let me think. Not really.
About
I mean,
any-
not
we-
to say that they all weren't
Oh,
great.
stop. Yeah, I know.
I think. Let me ask you this,
Yeah.
because I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
They talked about ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Am I incorrect? Am I thinking of something else?
I feel like someone. No, I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's there somewhere in my memory. But
I know. I can't remember.
pinpoint
It was a lady. I know that much.
It was a lady. Monterey. It was Monterey Martinez.
Oh, that's fucking right. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Because she's also I think
She
her
believes in
episode was-
some fun stuff.
Yeah, like she's
Yeah.
Wiccan and stuff like that, or,
Yeah,
or she
which
considers
is-
herself a witch.
I really wanted to
Yeah.
get into that more with her, so
I know.
might have to have her back.
And also, I hope for season 2 here,
Yeah.
you invite some people on who are really into crystals and this new age stuff.
yeah.
Because I'd love to ask them why they're so stupid.
See, and my question is, why that, but not a more mainstream religion? You know, like, why not Christianity? If you're willing to believe in rechargeable rocks, why
Yeah.
not Immaculate Conception?
Here's what I think.
Yeah.
Most people who I think are super into healing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they're guaranteed they were raised super conservative, some kind of religion.
Okay.
And then they come out here and they can't shake the need
Right.
to believe or have something.
In something. Yeah.
Right? They don't
Yeah.
want to live in
your
my
world,
world,
yeah.
my world of
Nothingness.
yeah,
Yeah.
of perpetual
Right.
So they have something else.
Yeah.
They get something else.
Hey, you might,
And out here
yeah.
it's far more socially acceptable,
yeah.
to have
believe in crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
so I guess with that, I
yeah.
don't think I ever got your do you believe in ghosts?
Man, this is a fun question for me. I kind of do,
Interesting.
but I don't know that I believe in. I don't know.
Do you think they're dead people? Because it's like
Yeah.
I'd go out on a limb
Yeah.
and I'd be like, maybe there's some
Yeah.
weird leftover energy out there that
Yeah.
we don't understand.
Yeah.
But the idea, I think it's way more sad
Yeah.
to think that our loved ones are just like over there, dead. Hey,
Just
we can't
waiting for
see-
you?
Yeah, that's so creepy.
I guess. I mean, there's also the guardian angel idea. It's not.
Oh, the ghost could potentially be guardian angel.
Yeah. So here's theologically in Mormonism why I do believe in ghosts to an extent.
Interesting. Okay.
So we believe that after you die, you
Yeah.
go to the spirit world, which is similar to this idea of purgatory, kind of, in
Right, it's
that
like
you're
between
waiting.
the veil kind of thing.
Yeah, you're waiting to be judged.
Gotcha.
So, and while you're in the spirit world, there's sort of two states of being. One being prison, which is for those who have not been baptized or not yet chosen to be baptized in my faith. And then the other is paradise, where you have been baptized into my faith. But they are all still here on this earth.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the reason
So-
I would believe in ghosts or spirits
So
is
no baptism, ghost town.
No. Both
Both.
are
Oh,
still
both.
here on this earth,
wow.
existing. So I think there
Wow.
might be moments where the veil is parted a bit,
Yeah.
and we can have contact with them. You know,
That's pretty.
I'm
neat.
willing to believe that.
That's
I don't
fair.
know that I've never had an experience like that, but I'm willing to believe that.
And you know what? I've never met a true.
ghost?
No, this is gonna sound really mean. I've never met a truly smart person who's had a ghost experience.
Right.
Anyone? Who,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Katie. Sorry,
She had a ghost experience?
kind of right.
Demonic. See, okay. Now this is the follow-up question for me is magic.
Mm.
Because I think, if you're willing to believe in spirits and ghosts,
Yeah.
demons, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
or all of them, right? Because they're all different.
Yeah.
Why not magic? Why not supernatural?
That's a good point. Why
You know?
not spells? Why not Wiccan stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun. I mean, that's really
That's
fun.
really fun.
You know?
And because I mean, my thing is always, I don't know, always trying to take it to not a scientific place, but even just a different place.
No, I like a more logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like again, things you can't explain. Like
Right.
I don't immediately go to that was magic or that was ghost, right?
Yeah.
Like I think, but also I think it's way cooler to think that there's these alternate dimensional beings.
Yeah.
That can that we can't even they could be there.
Yeah.
But we can't see into
Yeah.
other. We can't it's just like what's his name? Carl Sagan did. Have you ever seen Two Dimensional World?
No.
He had these just a little piece of paper.
Yeah.
Said if there was a world that existed only in 2 dimensions, okay, so length and width,
Yeah.
no height,
Right.
no perception of height, no idea what up or down was,
Yeah.
only length and width. If you were to be a 3-dimensional creature and you were to put an object in front of a 2-dimensional being, it would have appeared out of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
So if you were a 4th or 5th or whatever dimensional being,
Right.
just to appear,
Yeah.
that's the same
I mean,
thing.
that's crazy.
Which goes,
Yeah. Well,
which is crazy.
we only have a very limited sight of light.
Oh yeah,
You know, I mean, what we
the
can
color
see,
spectrum.
yeah, we can only see a very small portion.
That's if squids and other cephalopods and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They can actually see ultraviolet light
which
with
is
their
crazy.
eyes. Which, here's another fun thought experiment.
Yeah,
Tell me a new color.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Not a
Right.
color that existed that you've ever seen. Think about a new color.
Sure.
And then go, because all you can
Then
imagine is
see
the
it.
colors you've seen.
Yeah, of course.
So if you can,
Yeah,
we're only limited by these little flesh balls in our,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our face. Like,
exactly. And I think some of that is going to be lifted in the resurrection. Who knows what we'll
Which
be
should
able to
be-
see, do.
I hope you're right, just because I want to plan it, and I know I've said that a million times.
You can get one, Travis.
I know. I was baptized. I mean,
in something.
yeah, they splashed water on me. I think it'll be okay.
That was called the pool. And
Oh, is that what that was?
yeah.
Oh,
I
damn.
don't know if it counts. No one said a
I
prayer.
was christened, so if I died as a
Oh,
baby,
there you go.
that's something.
Yeah. I mean, we also think that's blasphemous because babies
it?
are perfect. But
Really?
whatever. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So no, there's no original sin. Not a thing. You're not-
No. Sex is totally cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well-
We believe more in choice, right? So age
Choose
of
to be a dickhead.
accountability. Yeah, exactly. So
That's
after
fair.
8,
But see, I feel like that's probably why, generally, from my perspective, I found most Mormons are nicer because I feel like there's really nothing in a lot of standard Christian or Catholic tenets. They're just like, you're guilty from the moment you're born. You're
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
yeah,
And I feel like saying, no, you have the choice to be a piece of shit
yeah, you can choose.
is great.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it says that in no church I've ever been to did they ever say,
We're
you have
all
a
naturally
choice.
good.
Yeah, never.
Yeah,
They just said, you're terrible, you're awful, and if you don't do what we
Sure.
say, you're going to keep being terrible and awful.
right.
And that's why
In
I
order
never
to do what we say, you can't have this. You
Yes.
can't do this.
because you're a piece of shit,
Right.
and you got to stop being such a piece of shit.
Right.
Oh, I got to do anything.
I'm gonna take LSD and feel better.
Sometimes you
Interesting.
don't.
Trying to remember. Okay, so we have to because I know I'm gonna hear about it from Josh Edelman if we don't say how awesome his episode.
How it was the best episode we've
It was
ever
the best
ever
one.
done.
It was
Ever
so
had.
good. It was so good. No, I liked having him on. I want to have more Jews on so that I can understand
Yeah.
their culture better.
And they get some pull in Hollywood. So.
And that they do. And that they do.
You-
Yeah. Anyone you want to reach out to? Who do you think we should have on? I mean, there are some repeats I'd like to have for sure, but
I'll think of it because there's someone I met who I believe I'd love to have someone who was I believe Rajiv Agarwal. He's Hindu. I
oh
believe.
yeah,
He's Hindu. I'd
He
love
is.
to get some of that
Okay.
action happen. Well, to be fair, there is a particular kind of Buddhist
Uh-huh.
who is almost like Buddhist cult. Like, because they'll
Oh.
try to recruit you and stuff like that. It's
I
really
love
weird.
those. Yeah.
And we should. And I
We
know a guy
should.
who I won't even say his name because I just called his religion a cult. But
Well, we'll have him on.
Yeah, should have him on and talk to him.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I have some ideas of some people I want to have on.
Yeah.
But yeah, my goal for this time is one thing I would like to do is let people let guests ask more questions about Mormonism in particular, if there's anything they're curious about.
I think that's fair. I like that you, and also you are great
Or
at
they
being,
don't like,
yeah.
you know,
I feel
something
like
they
you're
want to
incredibly
criticize.
knowledgeable in your own religion and are able to answer these questions almost immediately,
Yeah.
which I find great.
Well, a lot of it is just my opinion that I think should be doctrine. You know,
Yeah.
I try to give my opinions about things based in actual scripture or.
That's fair.
I appreciate that though. Yeah.
No, really, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like you know your shit.
Yeah.
Which is also why I like. So it's when I'm just like, oh, that's
Oh, okay.
good.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to
Yeah.
disagree with stuff like that. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's different. A lot of religious people I've talked to are typically just like, well, I don't know why I believe that. I just do. There are definitely things about that
yeah, and you do rationalize.
in my religion that I have. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why do men have the priesthood and women do not?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I have been thinking about that much more, especially after getting married. But before I was just like, because
especially having the role that you have as a stay-at-home dad, like to think that why should your wife be robbed of the ability to be a priest?
Yeah,
if she wanted that when she's a stronger woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
does that ring true?
A little bit. I guess it's more, as my wife and I have discussed it, it's more this issue of leadership roles within the church, and I think that might be what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's basically what.
So being a decision maker, there is this culture of patriarchy within my church, where a bishop is a man, and that's the guy that leads the congregation. So most decisions have to go through him,
through a guy, through a man,
through a dude. Yeah, which is becoming less and less popular.
Yeah.
Right. And so I don't know. And then you deal with questions like, well, is that going to change? We prevented African Americans from holding the priesthood, or really those of African descent, to be technically accurate.
Yeah.
Those of African descent could not hold the priesthood till the 1970s.
Yeah.
They held it earlier in the church, and then we stopped, and then we brought it back for them in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, are women going to be afforded that, or is
this
tied to gender?
Do you think that'll change?
My inclination is no.
Interesting.
But there have been a lot of leaders who have talked about the fact that the way we talk about the priesthood is not accurate.
Right.
In that women do things and participate in things in like our temples that they do hold the priesthood.
Right.
They're performing things under the authority of the priesthood.
Interesting.
But that's different than like making a decision that everyone has to abide by in church.
Right.
And it
actually
might be
control
nitpicky,
over the
but
entire
but there is this sort of like, but why?
And that is fair. And I like that even with your beliefs, you still are more open-minded than most religious people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Or at least you're I feel like you're questioning things, but I think you questioning things doesn't question your faith. That's why I feel like most religious people that I've talked to, is like the moment you say, maybe this is bullshit, or why is this a thing? They immediately go, you're challenging everything I've ever believed. And then I'm like, no, I'm just this one thing, super dumb.
Can we just talk about that
Why
for a
is
second?
that stupid?
Yeah, but it's not. Because God said so.
He said it, God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
I already season 2, man. I blew it.
Season 2.
I blew it.
I'm so excited for season 2.
It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We may change the layout a little more.
Yeah, we'll see how this evolves.
Yeah.
And
now that we're at a different location.
So, anything you want to plug? Because you've got a lot of things going on. I mean, you quit the fourth wall.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your time now?
I work security.
I love it.
I forgot I had this shirt on.
I love it. It's so perfect, though.
Yeah, I work at the Federal. If you guys want to see me, I'm there bouncing.
Yeah.
At night, throwing people out for being drunk and degenerates and not following the word of the Lord.
Of course.
You can see Seth there being drunk secretly. Shit, I just told you. Really fucked that up, Seth. I'm really sorry.
Well, it's okay.
But then I got the 25th, I got a show at a place I can't remember.
Well, that'll be fun.
But the 27th, I'm recording a pilot for a show called Comedy Ward, and we'll see if that will be anything.
Very fun.
So maybe I'll be on the TV, Mama.
Hey, that'll be cool.
Yep. And
Congrats.
February 2nd with Teresa Lowe at the Good Night right down the road.
Wait, what are you doing there? Is that the show?
It's stand-up.
Oh, you're doing a stand-up show.
February 2nd.
Got it.
And
are you in your underwear?
I hope.
Me too.
Is it the underwear show?
I don't know.
I don't do that one. There's no world where anyone needs to see that.
Come on.
Never upstage yourself. It's why you move the microphone.
Don't be ashamed of your body.
No, I am. Very.
How could you let society get to you like that, Travis?
I let the mirror get to me. I let this computer monitor get to me.
Gosh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you got any podcast? You're starting a podcast with Dylan?
Yeah, me and Dylan, we don't have a name for it yet. But when we get a name for it, it'll be on. But for now, you can go to Fourth Wall TV, and you can find pretty much every podcast I ever did. I used to have Behind the Fourth Wall. Don't do that one anymore because I don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
But you can find Travis and Dylan. We've been calling it Between Two Fats.
Which is fun.
At the moment.
That's a fun name.
Check that one out. I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah.
And also, you can check out my girlfriend, Chester Kate 8.
Hey.
On Twitch. She'll be live streaming video games every day. She's also a comic and very funny. And I chime in from time to time.
Oh, fun. Which games does she stream?
She's been doing Minecraft.
Ooh.
Which,
going
by the way,
after that 15-year-old demographic.
Yeah. It is the most entertaining yet relaxing thing to watch.
Yeah.
All the noises are like... It's like an ASMR experience in a video game.
Nice.
And, yeah, she's very entertaining and still almost nodded off. I'm like, this game's relaxing.
Oh, beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Very fun. Sweet.
What do you got going on, Seth?
What do I got going on, man? Let me think. There's going to be a very fun show starting February 5th with a gentleman named Mike Eaton, who was in season 1.
Oh, I forgot I'm also doing your show on the 30th.
And you're doing my show on the 30th.
Cleaning up.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Clean up. We're recording my cleanup show now and sending it to SiriusXM, so you might hear us on the Family USA channel, which is very cool.
Very cool.
Party Words is the show with Mike Eaton. That's going to be at Sal's on Melrose. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. It's going to be fun.
Sounds exciting, though.
It's a glorified drinking game, so I probably shouldn't be involved at all. But I'm going to be there.
How are you going to participate?
Well, I think my role is the villain, where my name is Buzzkill. And the initial talks are of me going around to tables and taking people's drinks and giving them to Mike Eaton.
Okay, gotcha.
I envision myself getting pummeled.
I bet say,
do
you need me to come and wear this shirt?
I mean,
and
maybe
just follow
me
around.
Yeah, I might need a guardian angel because it might not go over well.
Because literally, as a bouncer, at the end of the night, you have to take people's drinks out of their hands.
Yeah.
And I am this size, and I still get a lot of shit.
We are in negotiations right now to figure out exactly how the show's going to work. But Mike is getting some really good talent for these shows.
Sounds
it's going to be
too.
fun.
And
so
everyone loves Eaton, so I'm sure he'll do a lot of good people.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So that's what I've got going on.
Dope.
And then season 2. Look, follow me on Instagram, only Seth Lawrence. Follow Travis at Travis Clyburn Comedy.
Clyburn Comedy. COYBURN.
I'll put that all in the show notes. Follow Disorganized Religion. Find it on any podcast platform.
Yes.
And YouTube. We'll put it. I mean, I've got episodes up on YouTube from season 1. Season 2 will start popping.
I'm excited to see the guests. I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll see who we can get out.
Fun.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun. Please contribute to the conversation by making comments. And, you can email me at Disorganized Religion Podcast.
Please. That'd be great.
At Gmail. And I want to make it more inclusive of those who are watching and listening. So that's the goal for this next season.
Excellent.
Thanks for joining me, Travis. This is going to be fun, man.
Always. Maybe next time I'll just be behind the camera.
Maybe. It'd be fun to have a round table, though.
Yeah. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, it'll be good. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and enjoy your week. Bye.
Bye.